us up this morning, Lord. You know, it's a beautiful day outside. It's cold, but we thank you for this day, Lord. Lord, plead your blood over our board as we come in to make decisions on behalf of the citizens of Washington County. Open our hearts and minds so we can be positive and continue to move Washington County forward. Lord, I ask you, please your blood over on a national level, over the future of our country, on over what's going on internationally with all these fights and wars. Help us identify peace where we can work together. And I just want to thank you for keeping your blood over us. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
And the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Washington County Board of Supervisors United Session with the Honorable Board President Carl McGee presiding.
Okay. On the agenda, any deletions or additions?
I have an addition.
Come on.
We need to discuss an
Can't hear
executive.
you.
We need to discuss MEC in executive session.
That's contract negotiations or what?
Oh, yes.
All right, contract negotiations, executive session. Anyone else? None. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
And a second.
Point of
All in
information.
favor, sure, point of information.
Hold on. We got Hollandale School. We need to appoint them to the agenda.
Dear God, yeah, we got it.
Okay, I don't see it on the agenda. That's
No, it's
why I
not on
asked.
the agenda, we got it.
Okay.
All right. If there's nothing else, all in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. Perfect. How you doing, Ms. Perfect?
Are we not gonna approve the minutes?
Yeah. On the minutes, any questions on the minutes and the deletions, additions? Thank you, Ms. Brooks.
Yeah, I have some concerns. I brought out a concern about the minutes from the for the November 2nd, let me should make that. November 2nd meeting, the November 4th meeting, I stand corrected. And I don't see that in the minutes at all, my concerns about the concerns that I found in the November 4th meeting. I did discuss it and you said it was gonna be corrected.
Okay.
And I haven't, so that's not in those minutes.
All right,
And
you
it
have the
should be in the
correction.
minutes. Well, I don't make the
Do
correction.
you have your corrections you want to see?
The corrections, the discussion I had about the concerns in November 4th minutes should be in these minutes, but they're not.
All right. Do you have the concerns that you had about the November meeting minutes?
Yeah.
Have those, and we'll make sure they're correct.
I mean, it's not my job to do it. I mean, she knew that I had concerns and it was not placed in the minutes.
All right,
Just
we'll go
as,
back, we'll go back and review the tape, if that's okay?
no, I'm just saying, just as other concerns was placed in here, like it was a concern that I wanted certain things placed on the agenda, that's in the minutes. But my concerns about, it was some items in the November 4th minutes where action was taken that was not taken at all. And that's not placed in these minutes.
All right, do you have those items? Can you,
The concern that I had from November 4th minute, it said that I made a motion to repair loan switch and you second the motion. That did not take place. I did make a motion till Attorney Griffin corrected us and told us that IMS could not do the work for the state aid project. So I rescinded that motion, then I made a motion to hire IMS as the engineering firm. You second the motion when we took a vote. That was not what she had in those minutes. She had something totally different.
All right.
So the concern I made at the last meeting to correct it, but the concern I'm making now is that I made that concern and that is not in these minutes.
okay, noted. I'll go back and personal review and we'll make sure we get those changes. Anything else? Anything else, Ms. Brooks? All right, everybody's good. I need a motion.
So moved to approve.
Okay, I got a motion. I need a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any
Nay.
opposed? I got one nay. All right, E911 expenditure, Mr. Burford, I appreciate you. Thank you for your patience.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Morning.
I have E911 expenditures for the month of November. They total $41,393.84.
Motion to approve
So moved.
and a second.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I have an invoice here from Badge Pass. That's our ID making system for our annual license and maintenance. $627.
Need
So moved.
And a second. Thank you. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right, and I would like to request authorization to submit an emergency management performance grant for fiscal year 2025.
I need a motion
So moved.
and a second. Thank you, Don. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
That's all I have.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate you.
Thank y'all.
All right, county engineer. Good morning, sir.
I dropped off a, written report to everybody. I think everybody's got a copy of it, but if you don't, holler at me and I'll
Yep.
get you a copy.
They just got the copy, they got it this morning.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you would, go ahead and help us out with it.
All right, just to run through it real quickly. Item number one, that's the list of the projects that the board has approved for us to, do, the programming on. And we've got all those have all been approved by state aid. Down under there, the projects that are approved, we've authorized the, geotechnical work on them. That's the soil borings that, you know, we help determine the length of the piles and also decide whether they're in a seismic zone or not. Those have already done on 2A, and 2B is the wetlands environmental reports. We've already authorized those to be done by the consultants that we use for those things. They're on an approved list from state aid, so when we get them, we'll send them those reports, and they'll finalize the design on them. The plans that have already been sent to state aid for approval are listed in 3A through E, and you know, mostly the only thing they're waiting on down there is the geotechnical and environmental reports. And once they get those reports, you know, they'll finalize their last review of them and give us authority to advertise them. And so in that vein, I was gonna ask the board if, when we get our approval from state aid, if the board will authorize us to advertise these for construction.
Need a motion?
So these four on the,
These four, right,
item 3,
right.
so moved.
I got a motion?
Correct.
And
There's five.
thank you, sir. And a second. All in?
It's 5 of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, A is request.
Okay,
Yeah.
All the others, for the four, the LSP.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm getting ahead of myself.
Okay. Got a second?
That's correct.
I got a motion, Supervisor Gordon, second Supervisor Benson. Any questions?
Now, what are we we doing the 5 that's on this list?
The four that are on the list, Burdette, Club 17, Hanley, and Baker. That's requesting the
Okay, it's 4, I'm sorry. I see.
board give us authority to advertise as soon as we get the notice from state aid.
All right, any other questions? Got a motion and a second already. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right.
The next item, these are the ERBR projects. There's 2 of those, the 2021 and the 2022. And we've sent, you know, we've finalized pretty much our design in-house. The only thing that will change is we've asked for the geotechnical report to finalize the design. Also, they're working on the environmental report, and, you know, kind of concurrently. They're working on both of them at the same time, different companies. And they're, all we like is getting the geotechnical report back from those folks and determine whether or not they're in seismic zones. And as soon as we get that report back, probably within a week, we'll send those to MDOT. These don't go to state aid, they go to MDOT. And we pretty much send them our plans that we certify are made to MDOT and state aid specs. And then once we get them, they'll authorize us to advertise those a little bit further down the road, but those will be coming shortly. Item number 3, just continuation, the weir down at Lake Washington. We're through with all the surveying for the design on that. I've talked with NRCS. Currently, there's no funds available for it, but they know we're gonna ask for them as soon as we do. But I mean, that's not holding up design, because we know we're gonna pay for it with county funds. But if we could get some of those, that would help, and it'll be a little while before we get the plans out to advertise. And if we have a big major storm event in the meantime, we'll ask for those to be put in for. And they've been pretty good about funding some of our requests. The next thing, the animal shelter, y'all have all our information on that. We're pretty much just waiting on, y'all to, I guess, flesh out what the number of dogs and the cats to be served and external kennels and that sort of thing. As soon as, y'all let us know that, we'll finalize those. We've looked at a couple of them, and in the past, we've done several designs that met, you know, the SPC, is that what it is? SPCA requirements, and so it'll just be a matter of getting a number from the board, and then we'll finish that.
Lee?
I do have a question. Have you talked to any of the gala and that?
Gala.
Because it's something like that, we would need some input, I think, on the amount of dogs and, you know, what we would need actually for that. And
Yeah, talked to Kendrick Proctor, had conversations with Amy Manning about it, and I think Gayla has been to our office to talk about,
Yeah.
you know, some of those things that she wants to add in, and, those are all fine with us, and we absolutely, you know, wanna do what y'all wanna do, so what I wanted is, you know, some of y'all that, maybe a committee or ever how y'all decide to do it, talk to them, and y'all kinda just tell me, I want 75 dogs, I want 25 cats, and I want a neuter room, or a spay room, whatever they wanna call it. I need a chip room where they install the chips in them and all that, and once y'all give us that guidance, you know, we'll finish putting those plans together.
And the other thing, just get with your Lisa on the budget. We did budget some funds for that. And so if you would get with her on that.
Okay.
Also, Miss Ann Fertizzi, she did put a plan together on a animal shelter. You may want to get with her and see what the plans were consisted with that particular project.
I've talked to
I
her
didn't
in
get a
the
chance
past,
to
but have not lately.
follow up with her, but she did bring that to my attention. They created it some years ago, and I didn't. And then she went out of town. We didn't get a chance to talk anymore.
Right, okay, all right. Like I say, I have talked to her in the past, but not lately about it, but I'll be glad to give her a call, and so we'll be updated with whatever they want. Once y'all make a decision, we'll be ready to move with it. The Luther Alexander building, we've talked or had understand there was complaints about some severe structural damage on it, and we were asked to go over and look at it. If you look in a couple of pages over in the report, there's some pictures of the building, and it's a lot of what you see. It's not untypical of the Delta. These are foundation failures. A lot of that happens after an extremely dry year where the subsurface does not have a lot of bearing support, and when the moisture goes out of it, it shrinks because they didn't put enough, or for the design of that building, didn't put enough material under it to support the weight once the moisture was sucked out of that soil by evaporation and things like that. But you see those cracks of the foundation, they're kind of diagonal looking, or go in a diagonal fashion till they get to a real weak place in the line of bricks, and then they'll go straight across. Some of them are true diagonals. Some of them go up and then start over. If you look on the second pages of photos, and got a few of them that are starting at the cracks at the top. It's a kind of a offshoot of the problems in the foundation otherwise in the building. So it is some significant damage to the building, and it'll take a significant amount of funds to go in there, and we're gonna look at either putting helical piles under this building. You'll go in, drill some piles under it, jack the building up, and you know, keep it from moving further. In other words, you'll just improve the foundation. Some ways to improve the foundation are just go out and completely excavate under it, jack it up, and then pour a concrete footing, stem wall under it. I don't like as much because some of them you'll be taking out such a long section there that we may not can jack it back into place all the way. But we'll look at those things if the board chooses to, you know, if the board instructs us to come up with a method to go in there and repair this foundation failure.
You have an estimated cost on that?
I have not, but I didn't know, you know, where y'all.
Yeah, well, absolutely. We're gonna have to move forward to getting
You don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Right.
Mark, if you look at the bottom picture, you see the
Right.
bricks have completely slipped off the brick
Yep.
ledge.
Yes, sir.
So bring us back some numbers, and, cause that wall is coming completely off, let's barricade it, make sure nobody is around it, where they may be cutting grass or doing work, anything else. That wall there is severely compromised.
Yes, sir. You know, it's funny how fast those things, I guess,
Here's
can
a
happen, and,
thing, is it?
it may not happen
Almost
all at
finished.
once, but, when it did move, it went in a hurry.
Okay.
things that, we've talked about in the past, and we've been asked to update the cost of, Old Leland Road, you know, we had given you a cost of it, an estimated, cost from the, city limits, out to, Main Canal, not from city limits, from Mississippi One over to Main Canal. And, we've got that price in there. Ms. Brooks asked we go back and do from the city limits to Raceway Road. We went back and, did a pretty good estimate on what it'll cost to do that. That $4,595,000 through 841, that includes replacing the bridge there on Main Canal. If we do the paving work, you know, it's gonna, the speeds are just normally gonna pick up with it. And if we leave the bridge there, we're gonna have what you call a functionally obsolete bridge. And, it'll be a kind of a dangerous spot there because you'll be, you know, traveling two lanes paved, in good shape. People don't really drive the speed limit down through there anyway, but, it'll increase if we do the overlay. So we need to replace that bridge. And it had at one time a walkway over to the side of it. I think that has been, barricaded off for some different reasons.
Right.
But, we'll fix this bridge where it'll have a walkway on the side of it and then tie some sidewalk back around to at least, the edge of these, you know, where we can cut it off at a good place where folks that want to go to it can get to it conveniently and not have to walk through the mud to get there.
Carl,
And,
I got something. On that 4.5, you said that's including the bridge.
Including the
What would that bridge cost about to?
roughly $1.5 million.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So are there any other funds to be able to cover that?
That could be paid for out of state aid funds if the board, when the board chooses state aid or state aid funds.
Just other options that we'd have on that, yeah.
Exactly, yeah,
So-
it's a pretty good chunk in
Yeah.
both places.
Yeah, well, I mean, that brings it back to 3 million, you know,
Right,
just for the road itself.
that's correct.
Yeah.
And then, and that way we could pay for that. And technically, you know, once we get more state aid money down the road, you know, that road could be done as a state aid project if you had the funds. And it takes a long time to accumulate a lot of funds for those major roads like that because it takes a lot to get them up. Also, the Long Switch Road, I noticed it was a separate item on the agenda, but, while we're on these, you know, we had looked at that, the estimated cost, to do Dunleith Road, or not Dunleith, but Long Switch Road, from Dunleith out to the county line was $2,105,000. And, if, the board chooses to go ahead with that, do the design on it, we got, I guess what y'all wanted was a task order, or if you don't want a task order, we won't do that, but just, I need authority to proceed on it if y'all wish to go ahead.
Yeah, I like to, because I've been talking about this road for the longest, and so, I would like to make a motion that we start this project with used tax dollars for this particular project.
So, question.
Go ahead, Lee.
What's the balance on the tax dollars in that account?
Mark, are there other funding,
How much? 2 million.
are there any other funding opportunities for this particular project, Mark?
Again, it, you know, it could be done as a state aid project if you had the funds to do it with.
We
We
just
can
don't
make
have,
we can make the request for
Oh.
additional funding if they happen to find something.
Yeah. We can do that.
Okay. I got
Making the request to do that?
We can request a state aid. We can't, normally they won't program it with state aid funds right now because we've had them done. But if we sent a request to state aid to program it and show that we had other funds to pay for it, and if there were state aid funds available eventually, you know, to pay some kind of balance or something like that, it would be on their list of projects to do, and they, you know, they might could, make up some money if some become available.
I got a second. Any other questions?
Now, but now are we voting on using the tax or just applying for the state aid funds to
no,
see if we can get those?
the motion was made to use used tax dollars to repair this project.
Yeah, well, the only problem I have with that is that we're using all of that on one road, and I mean, it's not serving the other districts
And
at all.
you are so correct, because guess what, we just did that in District 3. With his road, we used all of state aid dollars on one road in District 3. You didn't have a problem then. So
Well-
why is it a problem now?
Well, Ms. Brooks, you used $1.2 million of county money in Leland on a bridge too, that nobody else got a bridge too.
I mean, that was a
So
choice that
that-
this board made that.
Okay,
let's
so
go
I'm
back.
making the choice to vote against it
You
then.
can vote
Okay.
against
Let
it.
me
It's a
have-
motion and a
hold on.
second on the
Yeah.
floor.
All right, I got a motion and a second, and it includes using youth tax dollars. I got a complaint saying it's unfair, which it is. All right, all in favor of the motion?
You've had no
Aye.
Any
bridges in
nay?
your district done, none.
I say nay.
This is not a
Nay.
break.
I say nay. You gonna abstain, Tommy? All right,
I didn't hear his vote.
you gonna abstain, Tommy? He gonna abstain?
You abstaining?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so that's pushed. We'll find the money, Mark, but go ahead and let's do the plans and see what we can come up with to finance it.
Would y'all like me to program it, or send it to state aid as a program and show the source of funding will be the tax dollars also?
No, sir.
no
No,
business
sir. I
started.
didn't make that request.
I understand,
Okay.
that's what I'm asking, just
No,
for
sir. It's
clarification.
no request at this point. I'm fine where we are. Thank you.
But we'll submit it. We'll talk.
Good deal,
All right.
thank y'all.
Citizens
You
Committee.
don't overlook District 4.
If you're not- we're
You
not
just
on that.
you just voted against it.
Thank you, Mark. Yeah, let me, point of privilege, board, if you all would. I think everybody is well aware of the success that we're having down in Supervisor Redmond's district, the Hollandale School District. Coach, come on up and introduce yourself. Demetrius, come up as well. Coach, it's Coach of Hollandale Simmons High School. They'll be traveling. Come on, Coach, tell us a little bit about your season. Coach, introduce yourself.
Coach, if you would like, I would like to just let them know. Simmons High School is a little school out in the cotton field. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knew nothing about them until they got in front of that line when they called football. I hated it. They just whooped everybody from here to Jackson. Everybody. And they, what's the name of them devils? Them blue devils. Go ahead, coach.
All right, Coach, introduce yourself and talk some more about the Blue Devils if you would.
Okay, I'm Derek Hooker, the head, football coach at Hollandale, Simmons School.
Come on up to the mic.
No, I'm not scared. I'm Derek Hooker, the head football coach at Simmons High School. I had with me Dimitri Warren, my defensive coordinator. You know, this has been a great season for us this year. We're now 13-0, going into the state championship game. And we've, you know, we thankful for all the support we've gotten this far. So right now, you know, we're focused on going down to Hattiesburg on Friday and win the football game and bringing back that gold ball.
That's all right. All right. Hold on, Coach. Now, our board, you know, of course, we're extremely proud of you. You know, you and your staff, Mr. Warren, and Supervisor Redmond. Supervisor Redmond will be traveling to Hattiesburg. And, of course, we might need a chauffeur. And now he might, excuse me, Mr. Griffin. Go back where you were, Mr. Griffin. Go back where you were, Mr. Griffin. And if he decides he wants to spend the night, I would need the board to approve to cover the expenses for that trip. And of course,
There you go.
we'll have a resolution for you all for what you've accomplished so far. We're extremely proud, and we want you and the kids at Hollandale Simmons, the football team, and excuse me,
You can't approve expenses.
What?
You can't approve expenses.
I can't approve what?
Expenses
Why not?
is not a board business-related matter.
Supporting education, supporting kids in this community is what we do.
Jerry said he's going regardless. So, yeah.
Bought a Greyhound bus.
Just like we collect the taxes for education.
Sir?
Just like we collect the taxes for education.
Ms. McGee. I
All
would,
right, we'll make it happen, Jerry.
thank
And
you.
I thought I did my first donation.
Can I,
No, you said it.
I'll make a donation. Coach, could I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Are y'all the only school left in the Mississippi Delta now that Northside has lost?
Yes, sir.
Congratulations. Represent the Delta well.
Well, technically Charleston.
Charleston ain't in the Delta.
Well, they said it.
All right, but we're gonna do what we got to do. Supervisor will be in there on Friday.
No.
I may be there as well, but I'll be
Delta,
stopping back in
Charleston,
Jackson. But congratulations, extremely proud of you all, and we will have something for you.
All right,
I
thank
got a
you.
question. Who y'all playing?
Baldwin.
Baldwin, okay.
Okay, yes.
But I
And-
really want Washington County to know that Hollandale is absolutely a city that is awful by itself, and we just do so much with our kids. We the same way in baseball, football. We gotta get to hockey. That's what we got.
I need a motion for the resolution, Jerry.
Second,
I got a motion and a second. Thank y'all. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Anything else? Everybody good? Appreciate you, Coach.
All right,
Ms. Warren.
thank y'all.
All right. All right. Road manager.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Everybody got a report from the road manager listing of the roads and
I've had
everything,
one,
right?
everybody. There's something different I did in these reports this month on the very last page. It's just an upcoming list of what we're looking at to do in the future. It's not everything.
What
If
your
you see
list look like
something
on
on that list, maybe you wanna add,
what your list look like?
get with me.
Ms. Burke.
This right here,
No. I put one on everybody's.
Ms. Burke.
thank
I
you.
didn't have enough for you, Chalice.
Oh, you ain't have enough.
Let you know where we're at, with our hot mixing this year at this point. They're still running mix.
Now, what page you at on that?
It's
on
the
hot
very
mix?
last page. Like I said, everything's not on there, what we're looking at to do in the future, it's just a few things that we've got so far. With our hot mixing, what we're looking at, the weather's moving in cool, everybody knows that, Apex still running. We're having a horrible turnaround time getting loaded out at Apex, so we're lucky if we can get 6 trucks a day from Apex with the turnaround time.
I mean, what you need to finish and complete.
On Garden Road, we're looking at probably about another 150, 200 tons to finish that out. So
Whatever.
maybe another good day of running on Garden Road ought to finish that out.
What other roads you gotta complete? Not start on, complete.
That's the only one left to complete is
Okay.
on the Blacktops Garden. I've got our chip and seal equipment on Palisade Lane.
Okay.
We get them temperatures up later in the afternoon. We can probably get a few hours in, before lunch running. Maybe do a little chip and sealing. So we'll move forward with that. Another issue we've run into is getting the rock from Greenville Gravel here. They're out of rock that we use chip and seal with. The number 57.
Low water?
No, they said they had a problem with a loading ramp at a quarry where they're getting it from. So I did make a few phone calls. I found some rock in Vicksburg was the closest I could find it. It's $3 a ton cheaper than what we're getting it here.
Yeah, but the mileage and fuel.
Well,
And that's the thing, the mileage and the turnaround time to get it here.
I would think too, and what he's doing, he's pulling his resources away from doing things while he's sending his trucks.
Right.
Is it possible that we could contract that, out, maybe check into maybe getting some gravel hauled to us so we can stockpile it?
Sure.
That's just a thought. You may want to check into that before you run out, because that'll stop us. Of course, the weather gets a little cooler as far as our hot mix will stop, and without the rock, of course, we won't be able to chip and seal.
At
So
this point, what we've got on the yard and at our yard now, I probably got enough to do Miss Mahler's Road on Palisade and maybe one more decent sized road.
normally, when do we cut that off far as the chip and seal though? I mean, is it,
Usually when the weather, we can't get it above 45 degrees during the day.
yeah.
Right now, usually about 11 o'clock, maybe we can get it up above 45, we can run for a few hours.
Okay, so I guess what I'm saying is, if there's, if we are running low, this is probably the best time of year, because we're not gonna be able to do a whole lot probably after
Right,
this
right.
month.
Well, and the
anyway.
rock we do have is the 57, and we do use that rock on some of our gravel roads.
Yeah,
So if we had to dip into that, it would eat up on that.
I would just suggest that maybe we just check into maybe getting somebody to haul some gravel here for us from Vicksburg to stockpile a little bit. Just check on that price, see what that costs. He's not out right now, but
What we do, we'll check it out and let's have a conversation, about the trip down. If you could leave like daybreak, pick it up, bring it back. By that time, some temperature will change,
Okay.
but let's have that conversation.
how many loads do you think it would take to give us a good stockpile? How many truckloads of our long beds?
We run, just the long beds.
Yeah.
We've got 2 of those, so for every one of them, that's 2 of our Kenworths, so maybe 2-3 days, because I'm looking at
So
maybe.
you'd have to run 2 or 3 days in order, enough rock to get here?
Because I figured at best, if you could get them out here, like Carl said, by daybreak, maybe if the board went to 5 o'clock letting them run, you might get 3 of them trucks,
Yeah.
6 a day maybe.
And you think they'd have to run it for about 3 days like that?
That would give us enough, maybe by then, Greenville Gravel will have some on the yard.
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
What would that pull those trucks away from? What would that stop you from doing though?
Not really nothing, because
Okay.
those big trucks just don't work well on the chip and seal machine or the blacktop machine. So
Okay.
really, those trucks are more or less stockpiling trucks, is what those are good for.
Okay. Well, I no sense of putting that off then. I think if that's what we can do, make a motion that we do that, start trying to stockpile, at least do maybe 3 days of it, like I said, and we can go ahead and stockpile some of that gravel.
Got a motion?
I have a
So-
question. We stockpiling from, where we getting it from?
Vicksburg.
And what's the issue with the local company?
Their loading dock at the quarry, wherever they're getting it from up north somewhere, a barge hit the loading dock and tore their loading dock up, so they're not loading out of the quarry.
There won't be no time soon.
We called this morning and asked, we called right before the holidays and asked, and they were telling us, check with us right after Thanksgiving. So we called this morning, they said there's still no coal mix or 57, what we used to Matt Rose with.
All right. I got a motion, need a second? Need a second. Thanks, Jerry. All in favor of the motion to go ahead and use our equipment to stockpile? Show us out about.
Yeah.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, we'll talk, Clay. Make
All
a-
I have
and-
some concern.
Okay.
Okay, I did not see Elizabeth on this list.
Mm-hmm.
Elizabeth was supposed to come after you left out of District 1, but you overlooked District 4 and went straight to District 3. So my concern is, where would Elizabeth be on this list?
I actually went to Elizabeth when I spoke to you this morning about the drainage issue and looked at those roads. We clocked everything, so we're trying to get everything figured out, what tonnage it's gonna take to do all that.
So when you complete Gurdon Road, you will be coming to District 3?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
I mean,
ma'am.
District 4, I'm sorry.
All right, also, I've got a couple quotes. As y'all know, I brought to y'all's attention maybe 2 board meetings ago about a motor grader we had in Hollandale. We got it to a shop and had it diagnosed, an injector and a fuel pump. The fuel pump has to be timed. That's something our mechanic cannot do because this is an electronic motor grader with all the electronics in it. So I've got a quote, 2 quotes. One from Thompson for $10,657.42. And I got one from Killebrew Farm Services for $11,157.42.
What's the turnaround time on it?
On that grader, they didn't give us a turnaround.
I move we go to the lowest.
Second, but I do have a question.
on.
That, as far as that grader, what kind of shape is it in?
It's in
okay.
real good shape.
All right.
To be
When-
honest with you, it'd be a shame not to fix it. 'cause
Okay.
It's,
When did we
Second.
get this grader?
by those
2 years ago, 3
years ago.
Yeah, that's an older one, that's one I was just wondering.
But it's set up for a while and hadn't been run, so I mean, it's really like it's just been in a time capsule, believe it or not.
All right, got a motion. Any other questions, comments? I got a motion for the lowest and best,
I second it.
and I got a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Oh, one other thing. The intersection 61 and 82. Can you get your people out there to get that garbage up? I know the state normally does it, but they have not been doing it, and it looks so bad, you know, on all 4 rounds.
61 and 82.
Yes, sir.
I'll get
We
them
need to
out.
get that cleaned up, because we have a lot of visitors coming in this this weekend.
I also have one more quote for a dump truck we got at Wilkerson, get diagnosed. It had some electrical issues, wouldn't start, wouldn't dump. First quote was from Wilkerson for $5,963.76. The second quote was Killebrew Farm Services. They come in at $6,085.
Move we go up to the lowest. Where's Killebrew anyway?
Seven Oak Road.
All right, got a motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion
that's
carries. That's
the-
the lowest.
That's the only 2 quotes I had at the time.
Well, we need to get Leland law enforcement out there at the intersection 61 and 82.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me know when you go, and I contact the mayor.
Okay, and like I said this morning, I'll get with you in the next couple of days when we get over to Elizabeth and look at that drainage issue I looked at.
Thank you very much.
And as far as the trucks hauling the rock out of Vicksburg, I'll get with a few of y'all and let y'all know what we come up with, run a day, see how many loads we can get out in a day. I'll make some phone calls as soon as I leave here to that place, make sure they still got it on the yard, and we'll move forward.
All right,
Same size rock?
Same size
Okay.
rock.
yeah. All right, appreciate you. We'll
All right,
talk.
thank you.
Yes, sir. Planning Department. How you doing, Ms. Redmond? Good, good, good. Alrighty.
Good morning.
People, we just ain't hired them.
The permits issued for November was 16 and year-to-date is 36. The money collected is $1,623 for November and year-to-date is $3,409.50.
So move to approve.
I got a motion to approve. I need a second. Thank you. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I got one thing. While we're dealing with the planning commission, Roy reminded me, you know, we've got some vacancies on the planning commission. And there was one at large, I think it was. And Roy had made a recommendation on Brent Dillon. He's the new owner of Industrial Services. And I think he would make a great addition to it. Well, that's what I was going to ask the attorney too. Now, I say all that. He is a distant cousin of mine. Do I need to make the motion or just abstain?
No.
Okay. All right. Okay, but I just put that out there. I think he make the Roy. You know.
When you say distant cousin, how distant?
Probably third kinship. You know.
Third kinship?
Yeah.
I don't know that. Third kinship, first, second.
Yeah, I've looked that up before. I don't think third, but I was just going to
If
ask
it's
to be
that
on
far
there.
removed, the law doesn't apply.
Okay.
What's the pleasure of the board with the at-large vacancy on the planning commission? That's your motion, Jerry? I got a second. That's Tommy's
No,
second.
no, as I said, I don't see anything wrong with you
Okay.
making a motion if
Okay.
it's that far removed.
We got a
Okay.
motion there.
Is it planning from your district?
No, it's just a at large. It's just
How many
a
LR
at-large.
positions do we have?
Four.
Yeah.
I mean, it's five, appointed by each supervisor, then we have four
At large.
Yeah.
All right, and so just one at-large position that's available? Okay.
Any other questions? All in favor of the motion, show by sign of aye. Any opposed?
One
abstention.
abstain.
I got one.
I'm
I got
abstaining.
two abstention. Motion carries.
Okay.
All right. Ms. Carter, take a look at all the appointments and the terminations on them. Passed out to the board.
I got one other question. Have you had any trouble getting, people to come to the meetings? Or have you?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we had one scheduled for last week, I think the holiday,
Okay.
was the reason. We had some that, it depends on others to, we got two. Yeah, and because he don't have a vehicle, and if the other one can't come, he can't come.
Okay. So are there any other vacancies in our districts?
Yes. Well, I'm not gonna say vacant.
Okay.
Just say
All
not
right.
very active.
Chalice can follow up on that, see who's, okay, gotcha, all right.
The one that couldn't get the ride, he talked to me over the weekend, and they got him.
All right, didn't I carry that motion?
We're gonna try to shoot again, maybe.
Okay.
I did. I did carry that motion, right?
Yeah.
All righty. Justice Court Clerk. How we doing?
Good morning.
How y'all doing?
Fine.
Good.
If you notice, you did not have my other report due to my rollover, did not carry over my deposits, all my deposits to make me equal out. So as soon as they roll me over, I will get it to you as soon as possible.
Outstanding. Any questions on that? Anything you need from us?
No, sir.
You good?
Yes, sir.
We do appreciate you.
Ma'am, do you think you have any people available to help us clean up?
I can't give you a yes or nay on that because it depends on if they come in and volunteer to work on the work program.
Y'all ever doing a calling to call them if they behind?
We send out letters, we tell them what we're going to do. Some come in and they start paying, there's nothing else we can do. We can't put them on the work program.
Okay, if you get some to come in this week, is it possible we could send them over with the county to help with the intersection of 61 and 82?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
I think you got one, but we coming from Hollandale, because we come in, so we what you need to do to pay a bill, I said, he have my money, I said, catch the work truck, so, anyway, he gonna get back with me.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Gales. I'm going, Ms. Gales. How you doing today? anything you need from us, Mr. Gales?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I need the request for, pay my National Association of County dues of $50.
So moved.
Got a motion? And a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Anything on your, report you wanna point out to us, anything in particular?
No, I just went out last month, I went out to a couple of events last month, stand down, couple more things I went out to. But, this month, I need to get back with, I'm gonna go down to Piscataway County. They coming up with some kind of incarcerated program for veterans down there. I was gonna go down there and see what they got on the agenda down there, cause the guy want me to talk to somebody. So if I get the information, I'll bring it back to the sheriff department and let them, you got incarcerated veterans over there, and that might be something that could help them. So whatever program that, Mississippi Department, Correction doing, they want to start a program in most of these places where they got veterans and see what they can do on healthcare and benefit wise. I think that would help.
Still, I'm veteran in Hollywood, you know what I'm saying?
I ain't seen this guy yet, this old guy, you told me.
Getting a business. I'm talking about the veteran that lives in Hollandale, trying to think of the name, Ball right now. But you need to give him a business.
You gotta give me some authorization, cause I can't go nowhere house. Unless I take Shaq with me.
I'm the law. It's not the fact, it's anything wrong, but I went by and I looked at it, and I just think somebody else needs to do it, just because he's getting around, he's doing well. And I just think when somebody go by and see him, but just feel like he never heard nothing from him, he needs to be with somebody somewhere else.
I think if you call me
Okay.
and I come get with you and you take me, that, you take
I don't know how it works.
you take me, that'd be, if don't know how to take that, the board, I can't go to anybody's house because it's,
That's great.
it get to a point that safety wise,
Point that to-
it's safety.
Veteran Affairs Officer, so he can't make house calls.
Nothing wrong with it, I just
You can't make house calls?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Because that's safety concern for me, because if something happened to me while I'm there, it's gonna be on hold.
But can a sheriff deputy go with you?
Now that get to a point that you got to get with the sheriff.
No, I'm talking about, I know you saying a concern, but if we can get someone to assist you, would that be a problem?
If he go with me, that'd be
Okay.
fine. Yeah, that'd be fine if he go with me. If you got a person that I can go in there with.
This is a disabled person, Mr. Redmond.
That's all right, let's go. I'll take that money.
He just called me.
Yeah, I go by with you, we'll go by and do a welfare check.
Yeah, do a welfare check.
Yeah,
That's welfare.
We'll make sure of that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Yeah.
Anything else, Mr. Gales?
Yeah. This Saturday I'll be representing the Delta. I'll be calling at 4A. I'll be calling 4A State Championship down at Hattiesburg.
The what?
4A State Championship.
4H,
4A.
4A. Oh, you going down there with Hollandale?
Oh, I'm calling Saturday.
Oh, you calling
Oh,
it?
he's an official.
Okay, good deal.
Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday.
Saturday. They going Friday night.
I'll be calling Saturday in the daytime.
Okay, good.
You called the Charleston game, right?
I'll be calling Heidelberg and Louisville game. Poplarville and Louisville. 3:30.
All right. Congratulations, London, Mr. Gales. Be safe in whatever you do. Outstanding. There's nothing that you need from us. We appreciate you.
No, but
All right, you and the sheriff get together, make the wellness check, and everything will be fine. All right. Ms. Moore, how you doing today? Hey. Morning.
We are to continue the hearing on Mr. Ray, who's not here today, and it's been a month as of today.
That's the ABAB?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. She sent the other ones that way.
Go ahead.
So we didn't stop we just continued on with that. We were just looking for him to give some
Right.
report back and some, so.
Today
what
is the deadline.
Okay, has he done anything?
As
That's
of
Carl,
yes-
that's your.
These are the photos as of yesterday. I went out there yesterday.
No, it wasn't that, I went last week. It's
Yeah.
a horrible shape.
This was yesterday?
Yesterday.
Okay.
I couldn't tell any significant difference, Ms. Moore. I'm going to ask that the board continue to proceed with this matter.
Well, we've already done that. We didn't stop anything. Do you need a motion for that or just continue on?
Just wait, everybody needs to understand
Yeah,
we're moving
okay.
on with.
Yeah.
The
I'm
county
good.
will go in and
What?
clean this property and assess his taxes.
Well,
Yeah.
you gotta have a motion, for finding in the minutes that he failed, you gave him the opportunity, he failed to do so. And because the board retained jurisdiction to proceed, the board can proceed to clean it up.
So moved.
That's the motion. And I need a second. Thank you. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. All right, do you have the consent for the board, Ms. Moore?
Okay.
Anything else you
and
need from us?
Yes, I need approval for public hearing next month, scheduled for January 6th at 10 a.m.
All right.
And they're listed there on your,
Okay, that's one with a
Report.
couple of these Glen Allen properties?
no, starting at the bottom there.
Okay. Okay. So moved.
I got a motion? I need a second. Second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And that parcel from Winterville is on there,
Outstanding.
okay?
All
That's
right.
all I have for today.
All right, we appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, that first meeting in January. Yep. All right. Ms. Smith. Chairman? Well, then that's something, he was here.
You coming around?
Morning, Jim.
We completed the floor work over at the Department of Human Services on Main Street, and then they ready to, start moving back in now.
Anything you need from the board?
Yeah, they say they regional director, Mr. Short, say need a written authorization for them to start going back in the building.
All right, need a motion?
So moved.
And a second. Thank you. All right, we'll go ahead and approve. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
You been in
We'll
the
get about
building?
written authorization to go ahead and let them, we've
Have you ever been in the
completed
building?
all the work.
Have you ever been?
Everything straight. Anybody from the board want to take a tour before they move in?
You need to go in there.
Jeremy don't mind.
That building has 3 to 4 times the space they need.
On Harvey Street.
The electrical on the,
Oh,
three to four
they'll be out
times
there in the
space
morning, they
they
got all
need.
the material in, so they'll start in the morning.
Serious.
All right.
It was out just telling the sheriff them back there.
Now, that's the building over at DHS. We've got to put together something in order to redo the parking lot. We'll talk about that. We'll try to find some funding to put that together just to have the parking lot redone, whether it's in-house or we bring a contractor in to resurface and restripe the parking lot at the DHS building. Other than that, everything else is straight, right?
Yes, everything.
Leaks on the roof.
We got, 2 weeks ago, we got up on top of the roof with the pressure wash. We unstopped all the drains, all the gutters. What happened, the gutter stopped, you notice that, roof from the 80s, it got that tar in those rocks. So those rocks are blowing over in the drains, and it was causing the roof, inside of the roof to leak.
y'all got that taken
Yeah,
care
we
of?
got it taken care of now.
All new tile inside,
We
everything.
tiled
but-
everything, yes, sir. Wiped everything down, everything.
All right. All in favor of the motion to give the written notice, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll make that happen today, Jeremy, I'm sorry. And, we'll communicate with Mr. Short. Okay, Jeremy?
Yes, sir.
Anything else you need from us?
No, that's it for me.
You good?
Yes.
All right, appreciate you. Ms. Bratton? How you doing? How you doing today?
I am doing well, thank you.
Introduce yourself and tell us who you are, why are you here?
My name is Gina Spratland. I am the clinic administrator for the Greenville Clinic, been there over 21 years. And thank you for hearing me. I just wanted to make the board aware and I do have a request. At the last meeting, there was a discussion about specialty pharmacy and how that was handled. And I just wanted to err on the side of caution here. I have spoken with Ira Stacker as well as Jay and Brent regarding what process the county is trying to work on. And I totally understand it, because pharmacy calls have far exceeded hospital and outpatient services for everybody. I'm in the same boat with our clinic. But the situation that we have is that, if you will recall, what was said in the meeting is, in order for the hospital's 340B pharmacy to provide those drugs, the county employees will have to be seen by a hospital-employed physician. And so that's where my antenna went up, and because we've been down this road before. Now, so since that happened, I have talked with Iris, and I believe she is working on a process, and maybe Jay and Brent are working on a process, but I have not seen that. And the request from the private physicians in town is that process be in. We're not totally opposed to it. We know you need to save money, like everybody understands that. But the process would need to be, we're requesting it be in writing. So what happens is, if our patients, and as it stands, I did a count, looks like we have about 90 people that have been to our facility. And yes, I do understand what's being said, that this is only 26 drugs. But I can, again, we've seen this type of situation before. If we don't have something in writing, then let's just say, if you're seeing one of the providers in my clinic, or with Neil Suarez, or with Joe Pulliam, or somebody else, and you are taking one of these high-dollar medications, you will be required to see someone at the hospital. And I have a concern about that, because, we have a declining population, and yes, I want to covet our patients and our patient relationship, and would like for those not to go to the hospital. Not that I have anything against the hospital. I've had nothing but great things to say about the hospital and the service that they provide, especially the ER. Let me just say that publicly. But the diversion of patients can easily happen. It's already a problem now. If you speak to people who go in, sometimes they get diverted to residents or other physicians or other cardiologists, and then they don't get sent back to the doctor. Again, this is something that is known, and the hospital is aware of this problem. So Iris and I have talked about it to potentially have a telehealth visit. But since that conversation, I've heard that what happens is some of the hospital physicians require them to come monthly. But what we were speaking about is one telehealth visit, possibly while the patient's still in the existing physician's office. But I have yet to see the details of that. So I just want to make you aware of that situation, and request that this board require something in writing about how this process works, so the independent physicians, the Greenville Clinic, Joe Pulliam, Cunningham, Oaks, all of those independent people in town are not hurt financially by, let's say, I decide, you go see, somebody over there, and then you end up staying over there, or they encourage you've got to keep coming back here, versus seeing the physician that you've seen for years, possibly.
Oh, so I know there's a lot of red tape in anything you do with this, and so let me just kind of tell you what I understand, this to be, and then maybe from you, and I wish Iris was here too, that she could, get in on the discussion, because, well, but nobody represents. Well, somebody from the hospital, yes. So, from my understanding on this is that, let's just say, give me one of the drugs that's in that 26. What's one?
Stelara, Eliquis.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if someone's on that and he's Dr. Or their Dr. Folk's patient, I'm just using Dr. Folk because I know Dr. Folk. So he's one of Dr. Folk's patients. From my understanding, in order for that to take place, that patient would have to go to the hospital to see a hospital doctor one time. Is that correct? Okay, per year. So he would have to go every single year, or for once a year. Now, when we say he would see that doctor, and what would the process with that doctor be? What would? Yes, please. Yes.
You can give us your name again.
just make sure we're all fully understanding how this works.
Just to remind you all, John Michael Deal, the pharmacy director here at the hospital. I just want to reiterate, we're not trying to steal patients from any physicians out here in the county. That's not our goal here. Our goal is to simply find ways to save the county money on drug expenses. The way it would work, we targeted these 26, I believe it's 26 drugs that we've kind of targeted. Those patients would come see one of our resident physicians one time, review that patient history, and then we would refer them back out to their primary care doctors or their specialists. It is one visit a year. It's not per month or anything like that. I don't think it's fair to have the hospital or the physicians have some kind of red line and say that we're not going to treat patients. Every patient can decide what doctor they want to see. If they want to continue seeing their physician, that's fine. If they want to see a different physician, they should be allowed to do that. So we're not trying to limit anyone from seeing their primary care doctors or anything like that. But unfortunately, the HRSA guidelines do suggest that just filling a prescription does not qualify that prescription for 340B prices. So they will have to see one of our physicians at least once a year, and we will share that patient. But we will also refer them back out to their primary care doctor as soon as that visit is over.
And one thing I just want to kind of share with both of y'all, you know, where I see, you know, here's one thing I look at too. I want to make sure that no burdens are on the patients themselves. And I want you to understand this is because we're doing it to save money, and you want to make sure that you're protecting the clinic, and I understand all this. But bear in mind, you know, our goal is number one to make sure that we can have a good insurance for our employees. But nothing we've done yesterday, I mean the last meeting, nor today, if things don't work for our employees, there's nothing we've done that we can't redo if there's a problem in the future. Is that correct? So I understand, you know, and I want to make sure that we're doing the right thing for the employees and for the county, you know, budget. But also that comes in fact, we don't want to hurt anybody, you know, and I would hope that, you know, that it would go smoothly and like it's supposed to go. You know, I hear some concern in your voice about not going that smoothly, you know, and the doctor's kind of picking up that patient maybe and seeing that patient, and that's where it comes and starts affecting the other clinics. Is that correct?
Yes, and I have proof that patients do go into the hospital and get diverted to other patients, not mine. And I'm not saying there's any intentions, but we all know how, where the road leads with good intentions sometimes. Right. And that's all I'm trying to do is to protect that, because I do have patients that go into the ER and they are immediately diverted to a doctor other than Dr. Folk. It happens every day of the week. Or to a resident instead of Dr. Gillespie, or it happens. Iris is aware of that. We've had that conversation. We just had that conversation after this meeting 2 weeks ago. But I will say that her conversation was a telehealth meeting, and if that does not meet the criteria for, are you saying that does not meet the criteria for a visit?
I'm not going to sit here and agree, because the physicians would have to agree to that. I mean, you're asking a physician to get on a telehealth visit with another physician, and that just puts them in an awkward position.
Well, it happens every day with UMC and St. Dominic.
I have not consulted our physicians about that process, so I don't want to sit here and agree that a telehealth visit with another physician is appropriate. I don't want to step on a physician's toes is what I'm saying.
But in my opinion, though, I don't think it's appropriate for a resident to be prescribing Eliquis in contradiction or without consultation with somebody that's treating them like a cardiologist.
They are going to use the visit summaries from your primary care doctors to prescribe those medicines.
So
if there's any changes
my
to
secondary
that, it will come from those doctors in your office.
I have a question.
Let me get
Go ahead. You go ahead. Go ahead.
I guess my concern is, because we're all in the same community, is it possible, could it be some type of umbrella plan with the pharmacy to include the other clinics?
That was also
They would
my
have to be
suggestion.
employees of the hospital.
I mean, there's no other way we can do an interlocal relationship with the other clinics?
They have to be covered entities, sister child sites, and they're not. These are all private clinics that they're operating from. They would have to be employed by the hospital.
So we don't create any relationship, the hospital don't create any relationships?
It's not a relationship. You have to register that entity on the HRSA database. The hospital owns the rural health clinic, the residency clinic, the hospital building itself, the county does. So those are all county-owned buildings and employees. Her physicians is not a county-owned.
Yeah, I got that. I understand what you're saying, but I mean, and now in day and time, you have a lot of entities are now partnering together on projects. This is about health. I got you on that. So you're telling me that HRSA would not recognize the hospital creating a partnership with local clinics here in this community?
I'm saying that HRSA has 4 direct rules that you have to follow in order to designate a prescription as 340B compliant. It has to
Okay.
come from the covered entity or one of their child sites.
Tell me what's the name of it again?
HRSA,
I know HRSA, the project, because I just want to just do my own research.
um,
The hospital, the medical plan is called what?
it's a
340B.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I just want to, because I think, if there's a way we can create some type of partnership, then I think, it would go smoothly, but I'm not familiar, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna reach out to another clinic with HRSA, and they can kind of,
If I could partner with every physician in this county, I would. It's just you can't do that.
well, I'm not saying every physician, but if we got clinics out here.
Right, but
and like,
they're not county-owned. They're
I
not
got
hospital-owned.
you on
can't do
that, I got you on that.
I have a question.
Yes,
sir.
Let me go so far, go ahead and move
Yes,
right
sir.
ahead.
A question, how many doctors are at the hospital that would be involved in this?
Depending on which direction we go, I would prefer as few as possible. I was trying to go through our wellness clinic to make the local doctors feel a little bit better. We chose to do the residency just because those flip every single year. It's new doctors, so we won't be creating a relationship with these patients to make them feel better.
So how many would that be?
10.
Well, my point,
10 different residents.
yeah, I kind of like the telehealth thing. I mean, if that would work, that seems like that would work, and I can't imagine those not. I'm like you, you'd want to ask, but I can't imagine them being a county hospital not, trying to assist in that, and, because we need, Greenville Clinic as well as we need the hospital, but, I would say that would be the direction that we would try to look into to be able to encourage those doctors to be, and if that's legit to be able to do that, that's what I would say that, we need to try to do, because the savings that we're getting is, like I said, it's a twofold for us. It's saving on the medications, but also we're spending that money at the hospital, a county-owned hospital, so that's a plus for us. So we don't want to take any money away from or any patients away from the other physicians, and I think that's your concern. Yeah. So I think that's something that we, I would hope that we could do, with that, and surely try to do that.
I will discuss it with the physicians again. I just don't want to step on their toes.
I understand completely, yes.
As far as physician,
I have a question. And my question is this. Let's say Dr. A recommends patient B, and patient B is a heart patient that's in need of one of these drugs. And Dr. A recommends these drugs, and then a resident at the hospital is unable to confirm the need for the drug that Dr. A has recommended, which may cause a delay. Then what?
The resident physicians aren't going to be changing prescriptions. They're going to be prescribing the prescriptions that come from the primary care doctor. and
So
that's
all
it.
they're going to be doing is saying, yeah,
Refilling the medicines that are coming from these primary care doctors. They're not changing medicines. They're not doing anything different.
they just rubber stamping it.
if that's the case, I do request that be a telehealth visit, and I do vehemently object to it going through the wellness plan.
All right,
Vehemently.
object to it.
I'm objecting to it.
Now, you want to say something?
Sir.
All right, now what you were requesting, Ms. Spratlin, was something in writing.
Yes, sir, I would, and again, Iris and I spoke immediately after this meeting. She and I go back a long way to the nineties. I mean, her dad was my physician when I was a little girl, so we have a long-standing relationship.
Okay.
And she did say that she wanted to work something out. I just needed to be here because that process has not been worked out. So that's what I'd like to see, is that we have something with a little bit more meat to it about the process. I do understand if there was a way for me to do a 340B, I would do it myself, so that we weren't in this situation. But I do know that a lot of the people, I want to reiterate what he just said, one time a year. I do have concerns that that might not be the case, especially if it goes to the wellness clinic. But again, if we can get something in writing, I think it would, be very beneficial to all the independent physicians in town.
Okay, what we'll do, let me give a call to Ms. Stacker. And, you say you've met with her, you've talked with her already?
We have talked, yes.
And,
we have.
we're gonna set something up for another meeting, so we can come and iron this out.
Okay.
And, you two can come together and see if you can get a document that clearly outlines, the program. And that you either amenable to it or not, but you can always come back to the board and share your concerns once you get that hard document and you clearly understand the position that it puts you in. Anybody else?
I just, with the patients, and of course, I'm sure y'all do it, just to educate your patients, because they're not running out, to do that, but while they're in your clinic, to be able to educate, say, hey, this is just, to make sure. And, because we want it to work for everybody,
Absolutely. Let me add, if we could work something out, I mean, this could help the hospital and all the other indigent patients who cannot afford Eliquis and Solara and Cimzia and all these other drugs. I mean, it would be, if we can feel confident, it might help some other patients as well, if we can work something out.
We'll see what we can arrange before the week's out.
Okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good
Appreciate
night.
your time.
No, you good.
Thank you.
All right. Now, the addition we have, we'll have to come back to it, and that's an executive session addition.
That's what the attorney added?
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
Ms. Carter, you ready?
Yes.
Come on with it. Morning.
We have expended 19.6% of our budget through December 2nd compared to 25%. Total receipts deposited November 18th through 20th total $739,025.71. I am requesting board approval of our claims docket totaling $418,331.88.
So moved.
And a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries.
Requesting payment in the amount of $170,000 to the city of Leland for reimbursement request number 1 for their MCWI water and sewer project.
Need a motion? Ms. Brooks?
170.
And a second.
Second.
All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries.
The Fourth Circuit Intervention Court is requesting approval of the 4 meeting rooms at the Convention Center on Monday, June 16th, 2025, from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. for their annual Intervention Court graduation ceremony.
So moved.
Yep, I got a motion?
Second.
And a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I need to ratify the MOU for the Senate Bill 2468 for the $1.5 million for the Greenville Mid-Delta Airport.
Okay?
So moved.
And a second. Thank you. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries. Tell us about the additional 500.
They actually called me back this morning, and that goes directly to the city.
Right.
That doesn't go to us.
It goes directly there.
Yep.
You say it goes direct to the city.
Yeah, city of Greenville.
I guess I'm a little concerned, why would they, give it to the county?
No, the Senate Bill 2468 is $2 million. 1.5 goes to the county for the airport, and 500,000 goes to the city of Greenville. They get their money themselves.
For the streets.
And then with the airport, who does it go to?
That goes to us.
And we give it to the airport.
That's the manager.
On what project?
Airport.
Just the improvements
Yeah.
for the airport.
Okay.
We have to manage it.
But it's not our airport.
It's not our airport.
Yeah.
We just a fund.
Well, this is not the first time you've done, what, 600,000 before, you've done another
I know,
500,000?
we gotta get beyond that, being funds and getting money directly from the county versus just, being funds for a municipality.
Not, yes, go ahead, Ms. Carter, please.
The only other thing I have are the reminders. The Christmas party scheduled for December 4th, 12 p.m., which is Wednesday. Wilson's annual fundraising banquet, December 13th, 2024, at 5:15 p.m. at the Washington County Convention
Voices.
of Cameron Ministries.
That's a motion.
So moved.
And a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any
Aye.
opposed? The motion carried. That's an addition, Ms. Brooks. Go ahead.
Yeah, what
Mo-
it is.
Voices of Calvary Ministry is an addition. Yeah.
What they're doing, they're getting ready to apply for a grant with Delta Regional Authority. The application is being about 20, they're gonna turn in early. What they're doing, they're gonna be doing a grant to create workforce opportunities, meaning that it's more so training. And so most of them being CNA, some construction work, for anyone in our community that meets certain criteria that may need additional training. And what they're targeting 5 counties, Washington County is one of the counties, and what they're requesting is a support letter to go with this application for workforce training. I'm just making a motion that we do a support letter
Sec-
for this
Second.
grant.
I got a motion and a second for a support letter for,
Voices of Calvary Ministries for the application to Delta Regional Authority.
all in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Ms. Brooks, make sure we do that letter today.
Yes, sir. She's sending me a rough letter, and I sent it to Charlie.
She's kinda afraid of what we're gonna write, but okay.
Well, I mean, you can
that'll
put
work.
whatever you wanna put.
No. We wanna make it right. I'm sorry. Ms. Holmes?
Travel request from Judge Benita King Johnson to Yazoo County, December the 9th. Estimated cost $100.77.
So moved.
Got a motion? And a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
October 2024 settlements from tax collector Patricia Lee, $322,891.61.
So moved to receive.
Got a motion? And a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And I have the minutes from the Yazoo, Mississippi Delta Joint Water Management District.
Motion to accept.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
That's it.
All right, that's that one. Gotta get everybody? Right. Jerry, it's just 10:13. Up around, we're gonna go. We got an executive session. Let me go around the table, then we'll get.
We got to
we'll
get
do the
Sherry.
executive session. Okay, I'm sorry, Chief.
Good morning.
Morning.
The meal log from November 22nd, 2024, from the week of October 26th, 2024, November 15th, 2024, is in the amount of $22,432.
So moved to receive.
Got a motion to accept? All right, that's a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Also, we, at the Sheriff Department, we lost one of our employees, Ms. Angela Sorrell, so we solicit your prayers and for the family and for her extended family, which is the Washington County Sheriff Department, so thank you.
Would like to have a resolution? Go ahead, Ms. Brooks.
Oh, yeah. I reached out to the sheriff department probably about 4 or 5 months ago. We had a situation, well, this will be the 3rd time, someone tried to break into our house. Leland Police Department came, actually somebody, one time they had a chair in the back of our house trying to break into our house. The second time, they opened up a window. My son was there, this when he was in the military, and, you know, when my son woke up, they ran. The 3rd time is when I called the sheriff department. My next door neighbor saw them, they raised up the window, and when I reached out to Sheriff Gaston, he sent Mr. Cedric over, and he got the video from my neighbor where they tried to break into our house. And my only concern at this point, we haven't heard anything from the investigation. The biggest concern is that my neighbor's saying it was someone lurking again in our neighborhood between our house and my next door neighbor house. And so my concern is it possible the video that you all received, we can get that on Crime Stopper, see if anyone can identify that person who's tried to break into our house 3 times? Because I hadn't heard anything else from the sheriff department.
We'll get, Nate Adams, get with Leland Police Department, and we'll see what else kind of video they have.
Well, Mr. Adams, he made a copy of it himself.
We'll get with Leland and I hope they have
Thank you.
All right, now, Ms. Sherrill, I need a motion to go ahead and approve a resolution for Ms. Sherrill.
So moved.
A second? All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried, it's unanimous. Sheriff, you, Chief, I'm gonna talk to you, if you need some help with that, some information. All right, Lee,
I'm good.
Tommy, welcome back, brother. Good seeing you. Tommy say he back, that's what I'm talking about. Ms. Brooks?
Of course, you know, this is the month of December, the last month of the year. And so, one thing I like to talk about, we're getting ready for Christmas on Deer Creek. It's gonna be a fun-filled event on Saturday. Well, actually, now it starts Friday. I'm encouraging each of you to come on over to Leland and see what Christmas on Deer Creek is about, because it's much larger than when I was a kid. You know, you would come, we'll see, in Leland, Santa Claus don't come down the creek. I mean, he don't come down the chimney. He come down the creek in Leland. But anyway, he will be coming down the creek, and there's so many amenities that's going on. And the citizens of Leland have really, really put a lot of time and effort just to build it up. Last year, I think they said we saw almost 10,000 people come through Leland for that full-day event. So we know it's going to be pretty big. And I just look forward to seeing all you all come to that event. The other concern I want to bring to our attention, December is also HIV/AIDS Awareness Month. And so the concern is always to remember to know your numbers, do your regular checkup, you know, just know what's going on in your world. And the other concern, I'm thinking about some awareness I want to talk about. The other awareness is National Safe Toys and Gift Months. So we need to pay attention to what, you know, toys and gifts we're giving and make sure there's no recall. And also find a way to give back to some undeserving child that may be missing. I know we don't have the angel tree with the Salvation Army, but there are other ways that we can find ways to give back to our community. So many different groups and agencies that's giving back. So we can find ways just to donate to the young people in our community, that would be very effective. And also, the last thing is this month is also National Hand Washing Awareness Month. I know that we feel kind of comfortable with COVID, but let's still continue to wash our hands so we can be safe and have a prosperous Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Ritter?
All roads lead to Hattiesburg.
Outstanding. Okay, Board, we had talked about the Sportsplex Board, and we talked about the bylaws. Did everybody get a chance to review the bylaws?
I have not. I read some of it.
Okay. All right, as soon as you can, just put your thoughts together, whatever, combine them on a list, and you can email them to Ms. Carter and myself, and we'll email them to Mr. Warren. We also were given the resumes or applications for the road manager's position.
There's quite a few of them.
So go through and weed through. Now, one thing I didn't have in mind, Ms. Carter, was the job description. So email us the job description and go through and do your initial culling.
We'll try by next meeting, try to have,
Yeah,
handle that.
well,
By next meeting.
we need to get that wrapped
I
up.
think next meeting will be good because we need to be able to go into a new year by already road manager.
Next meeting.
Okay.
But I haven't looked over the resumes. I went briefly, but not in depth.
Okay, but just do your initial culling. I just, put them in the trash, but I went through mine and I got my top, it's either 3 or 4 picks. But it's hard to do without the job description, so you have to know exactly what you're asking for and what people are applying for. We also had a conversation about one of the at-large positions. There's 2 at-large positions with a Sportsplex. Everybody got a copy of a brief bio from a Mr. Harold Miles in your box. When you get a minute, go ahead and take a chance and just review that if you would. And because this is a at-large appointment, every board member, should have some input. If you all decide you want to have him come in for a pre-interview or just ask a few questions, let me know if we can do that. But we need to go ahead and wrap that up because January is here, and the Sportsplex needs their bylaws, and they need, as many active members as they can possibly have. Okay, now we got an executive session. Mr. Griffin?
Yes,
At MEC, that's contract negotiations? Or what?
yes.
That's
Contract
Contract negotiation.
Yes.
All right, I need a motion, go into executive session for contract negotiation. I got a motion, and I need, and a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, we're gonna go ahead, thank you all. That should have been a close, but we went straight to, we're going straight into executive session. We're gonna discuss contract negotiations. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed?